Do you feel anxious or stressed at work? Well, you're not alone. In fact, over 45% of workers will have a mental health related issue in their lifetime. According to McKinsey Global Research Institute, 76% of workers have disengaged, with 16% of people having checked out altogether. And feeling stress and that feeling of surviving rather than thriving through our work and our challenges is commonplace, and it's a real problem. We've created this pattern of dealing and managing and coping with the challenges in our life, and it doesn't work. Over 75% of kids overstress about their exams, and that pattern of dealing with challenges increases and increases. And when we have a look at every stress-related model, it works in a very similar inverted U-shaped bell curve. We have good stress that builds up, or eustress, positive stress that allows us to become engaged, activates our senses, activates our executive functions in our brain. And then we reach to this sort of optimal state of flow at the top, where we're dealing with a high level of challenge with a high level of engagement and a high level of skill application. But then when the challenge comes too hard, we go out of that zone and we come down, and our performance starts to decrement. And the level of stress really comes in here and here. And particularly when we're over-challenged, we have a lot of sort of negative effect. A lot of negative emotions that work alongside that stress. And a lot of people are sort of operating in this sort of over-anxious place, or this over-control place, where we're keeping a lid, keeping a high level of control over all our actions, but never reaching that level of fulfillment or those deep experiences that we can get with our work. And ironically, flow is most noticeably in work. It provides the most amazing proximal conditions and environment for us to find optimal and rich experiences. It's challenging. There's a lot of value and importance added to them. There's great feedback and clarity of goals. And there's a system for us to really apply strength-based skills that we've learned in an exciting manner that's going to be both productive and hopefully add value and helpful to humanity. So the next time you're at work, have a think about, where are you on this model? Do you need to sort of up your level of challenge a little bit? Or are you over-challenged? And if you do find yourself in one of these stressful situations, instead of dealing with it by drinking more or avoiding or buying more things or many other dysfunctional habits that really just add more stress to our life, have a think about, how can I manage my experience? How can I manage my mindset? How can I prepare differently? So when I go into that presentation, when I go into that meeting, when I sit down and I have those large inbox that I've got to get through in the day, how can I deal with those challenges in an optimal manner, where I can come out of them and go, even if I didn't want to do them to begin with, I come out with going, I feel good. I feel intrinsically satisfied from that application of skill. So being able to reframe our challenges and really embrace them can have massive impacts to well-being, productivity, and health. And when I'm working with one-on-ones with C-suite executives, one of the first things we look at is their level of self-leadership. How are they dealing with stress? How are they framing the challenges that they're facing, and therefore framing the challenges that they're leading? So when you go into work tomorrow, remember this model, examine and be aware of the level of stress that's occurring within you, and look to reframe that stress into a positive embracement of challenge, and release the mental strain that operates here. Enjoy the physicality of that challenge and use that as your best friend.